Okay, y'all, we're almost done, so... Oh, and the audience is here. Yo, Audie, I'm gonna need a hand with something. I'll tell you about it later. But since we're all here, let's get started. Not really. I think this audience is confused. Me too, Loki. So y'all are saying y'all don't know what's happening? Nah, we don't. Right? Okay, first, we need to talk about... Before you say anything, I want to say I took a break and I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot, and expect a video soon. Like, I'm talking real soon. Like I know I always say that, but like I'm already like almost done. So you know what I'm saying? Expect it. But yeah, right now I want to talk about some BS that I got into this past month. You know, I was rewatching some like old, like really old Corey Kenshin videos and like other YouTubers around the 2015 era, and I realized people don't make videos where they just talk about their lives with the people in their community. Not anymore, at least. I'm sure this isn't helping me like algorithmically, but that doesn't matter because I want to hear about y'all summer so far. You know what I'm saying? Put it, you know, in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Did we get into some nonsense? Are we building dad lore, mom lore? Did we beat a game? Are you winning, son? That's old. That's old. But yeah, I guess I'll start. All right, so right after I dropped the last video, and I mean right after, me and my friends hopped in a car and drove all the way to Houston, Texas, and went to DreamCon. Yo, it was probably one of the best ideas I've ever had, dude. I gotta talk to a whole bunch of people that you might know. Let me run down the list. We got Ludwig, Swoozy, the Swoozy, RDC Dylan, Chris Next Door, Your Age, Canelo Joseph, Ash Al, NPC Miles, and I can't remember. It's probably like 10 more people, but I just can't remember them right now. I'm not gonna lie. And I gotta have like full-blown conversations with some of them. Something that did piss me off a little though is my friend, he got to talk to Valkyrie, and I didn't. And I didn't. You watched another video that I posted a while back, the one that's unlisted now. I asked them, I gotta ask all of them the very same question that I asked y'all. And I got a lot of different answers and reasons. A lot of interesting reasons. Now, if you know, you know. But if you don't, I'll tell you another day. Or you could just ask them. I'm not gonna stop. The whole story is crazy, dude. As soon as we got there, a friend and I got into like a dance circle. And I had to do it to him. I had to. And really, from the jump, like, we started meeting people left and right, you know, talking to really cool people. We met a lot of people that were, like, filming and making things. And I got a lot of advice from everybody, dude. And I was inspired a lot. But I was trying to figure out how to channel that, you know? It was really the first trip we ever planned. And, you know, there was, at some point on the way there, I thought, I thought it wasn't gonna be as fun. You know, I thought it wasn't gonna be as fun as I thought. But I think what really made it fun, like actually, was the choices that me and my friends like deliberately made. We gotta make our own fun by deliberately like going out and asking strangers random questions and allowing myself to act a fool. Like, I was so broke, dude. We didn't have the premium badges, so like some of the events we just couldn't go to. So it's like, why not just run around and just start yapping? And right? It paid off. It really did, cause now I'm here and I'm gonna use everything that they taught me, dude. Everything that all these random people taught me, I'm gonna use it right now. And you know, it may seem like I'm an extrovert, but bro, talking to people is like my biggest hurt, bro. I feel like I'm in like a telltale game and the timer is ticking and I gotta pick the right response. It's not intuitive, but maybe it was because I pulled an all-nighter. And I drove several hours to get there. I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have had as much fun as I did, dude. But listen to this. I couldn't have had as much fun as I did if I didn't turn my brain off, like all the way off, dude. Just ignore it, dude. Just ignore it and then live in the moment. It was fun. And yes, I cosplayed. One hint, 2 guns. Yeah. But yeah, I'll go into detail later one day. Who knows when? But I want to say one thing. Wake up, get out there. You feel me? At some point, my brother's laptop started acting up, and he started thinking about buying an iPad and Apple Pencil, because, you know, I'm not the only artist in my family. Now, I bought a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace, like a Steam Deck, and by the way, just, get a Steam Deck, bro. But I told him, it was a good idea to get it there. You know, it's cheap and it's right there. But yeah, he found a guy, and I was out that day, and he asked me, yo, could you pick it up for you know, could you pick it up for me? So we meet him at the store, and I hop in bro's van, and he hands me the iPad, powered off and everything. So I turn it on, and I'm like, I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at everything seems fine, everything seems good to go. So I send the money, $100. Now, to set up an iPad after it's been reset, you need to connect to the internet. So I couldn't get into it for real until like an hour later, because I had to drive back to my friend's house. I put the Wi-Fi in, and after it's saying we are setting up your iPad, and after putting the Wi-Fi in, it actually is like, psych, your iPad, it's still tied to an Apple ID. You can't use it until the device gets unregistered. The face I made. You know what this means? It means whoever sold me this iPad, whoever I got this iPad from, stole it. Like, it's a stolen iPad. Bro sold me a bricked iPad. It's literally a brick. It's bricked. It's Now here's my thing though. Apple, bro. Y'all need to bring back Steve Jobs, bro. Get his reboot card or something. Cause why do I have to put Why do I have to put the Wi-Fi in on the 6th screen for you to be like, yo, you can't use this? He hit a lick. So I'ma see if there's a way for me to like hack into it. But from what I've seen online, it's like dang near impossible. But if you ever had your iPad stolen and your Apple ID starts with like a C, let me know. Let me know, bro. Shaking my head. Random little story. I just had to get that off my chest. But listen to this next one.
1, 2.
Okay, so a couple of days ago, I was going to Goodwill with a couple of friends because I like to flip clothes on the side, and I was about to pull into this parking spot until I see bro to the right had his door, his driver's side door, all the way open. And I kid you not, I was like, okay. Until I keep driving, and I start to slowly see a prosthetic leg come out the driver's side door, and I'm like, and I'm like, dang, this dude has a leg missing. So at this point, I'm reversing into a different parking spot that's relatively close, and as I'm doing that, I see the dude using stilts to get to his truck bed, because he was trying to get his wheelchair that was in his truck bed, because he actually had no legs. His right leg was like around mid-thigh, and his left was like completely gone. And he had a wheelchair, and that's what he used to get. That's what he was gonna use to get around. So like, I'm in my car reversing, and we're looking at him in the rain, trying to get the wheelchair out of his truck bed and get in it. And I'm almost parked, and that's when my friend said, "Man, I love my friends." This is what he said. He was like, "Bro, let's go help him." And me and my other friend were like, "No doubt about it." So you know, we hop out the car and we'll help him out. If I stutter like that again, hop out the car, you know, we're helping him out. I had to ask. I was like, bro, are you a veteran? Because this dude looked tough as nails. And he was like, nah, man, I just got into a motorcycle accident. And then, you know, we're all heading to the same Goodwill. So, you know, we head in there and, you know, we're checking out the clothes. And then a couple minutes later, just chilling in the furniture section. And he comes up to us and he's like, yo, you want to see something crazy? And this is me, so you can laugh. And then he showed us surveillance footage of him getting hit by a car in the wheelchair. This was already after he lost his legs in the motorcycle accident. So some dude hit this guy in a wheelchair and ran. Way later, they end up finding the guy, the guy that hit him, and turns out he had no insurance or anything. And guess what? Guess what? He was never prosecuted, never even charged, nothing. They let him go scot-free. Every injury bro received, he had to deal with, pay for, all out of pocket. And that's not even half of what we talked about at that Goodwill, dude. We were talking about robots, life, phantom pain, everything. He brought up how he had lost his legs. He told us exactly how it happened, the injury, and the other injuries that he had been through. And he told me that he'd been denied insurance 3 times on the custom wheelchair that he was in, and his dad, who at that point had been like 80, had to pay for it out of pocket. He said it was like $20,000 for the custom wheelchair. And then he also said that like for the pain that he had for his spine. Sorry, my brain is kind of jumbled right now. And the medicine that had worked for him, when every other medicine didn't or had like side effects or problems, that was denied for him too. And he had to fight and fight and fight just to get it. And I couldn't help but wonder, who is insurance, medicine, prosthetics, wheelchairs? Who is it for if not a person like denied and denied and denied? We were talking about it all, dude. We ended up at the topic of that health insurance dude that was killed by that other guy. And this guy said something that really gave me a sense of like, I don't even know. I guess it's like strong will, because he said that he didn't wish death on the guy. And this is coming from somebody who had every reason to, really. And he said that he was very content with his life now, despite what he went through, that he was satisfied and that being alive was its own gift. And it's crazy too, because a bit earlier at a different Goodwill, a friend and I were throwing quotes at each other, coincidentally talking about like similar topics that we ended up talking to bro about. And my friend told me that he heard this quote about Icarus, and you might have heard it. He abbreviated it a little bit, but this is how it goes. And Icarus laughed as he fell, for he knew to fall means to once have soared. And I think that quote embodies him perfectly. And I think this is what they mean when they say art imitates life, life imitates art. It's a cruel world, but I think it's our job to make it a little less cruel. So that was my summer so far.
Yeah. Man, it's an honor, it's a privilege. Yeah.